I think I can say with confidence that I have begun streaming. Let's see. I'm gonna obviously need to click there. Okay. So full disclosure for anybody who is currently here, I'm probably not gonna go for too long today. Long story. I'm probably not gonna advertise to everybody under the sun. Probably just a few groups. But I was like, well, I want to practice some magic. No point in not streaming it. It's really hot today, hence my even slightly less professional, i.e., I've never worn a professional shirt on any of these streams or any of my YouTube recordings ever. So, let's see here. Okay, so one, two, three, and then I'm just gonna let some other people know. Okay, all right, that is that. Okay, so I'm not even prepped to do anything yet, so hopefully nobody is here. If you are, hello, welcome in. Need to just make sure I have some cards open, and yeah, I do want to show you this box though. So I have a bunch of premium decks that I've purchased. They are all in this gigantic box here, as you can tell, labeled them premium decks. And these are just all playing card decks. Not that I don't love myself a collectible card game or anything, but yeah. So if we want or need to do anything with any of those today, or to show off some, that's perfectly fine. I will show off a couple other things that I was thinking about doing. I have a stack of Uno cards, and I've basically stripped it down so that it is effectively a unique one of every card deck. If I take out these four cards, everything else. So now there's only one yellow, so one yellow skip, one green four, one yellow three, and so on. So there's only each card is unique in this, but that's only 50 cards. So if I want it to feel like 54 cards, I can add these in. But the important thing to note about these is that the typical size of a poker-sized deck of cards is this, and the Uno card is more like bridge size. They're about the same height, that's fine, but the width is drastically different. So and to most people it's probably not a big deal, and when you're playing games it's probably not a big deal, but when you're doing sleight of hand magic you get used to like particular sizes of cards. And so I'm thinking I should probably practice with differently sized cards. To that end, I also have pulled myself a there's a size of card called the parlor size cards, which I have a deck of Phoenix cards here. And the parlor size cards are basically like jumbo cards. They're almost like the size of an index card. But if I grab one of these and I compare it to, here's the standard bicycle poker size cards. Here is the jumbo sized card, the parlor size. It's quite a bit different. So magicians will sometimes purchase parlor size cards for the purposes of making it easier to see close-up magic when they're doing performances on a stage or live or something like that, or if there's a big audience and they need people like further back to be able to see something. So there's that. And then, of course, we have some novelty cards that I wasn't sure if I was going to find, but I managed to find a couple today because I knew I had them. I just had to figure out where in my house, in which card boxes they exist. But I have a couple of what would be considered tarot or uh, oracle decks, and so these I was thinking I could also perform some sort of magic with. Now, this one, astrological oracle cards, not very thick a deck. There's not that many cards. Hey, welcome in, Gibson Lens. Cool, awesome. So yeah, thanks for the lurk. But could potentially do something with that. And the borders are like super shiny, so maybe I could do some magic with that, perhaps. The box is thick because it comes with like this gigantic book, which I guess if I was going to learn how to do oracle readings, which currently I'm not thinking about, but perhaps one day. And then this one is called the Enchanted Map. So this one has a lot more to work with as far as like number of cards. This one almost looks and feels like a sufficient number of cards for a deck. I believe they're all unique. Yeah, they're all labeled with an individual number at the top. So like this one is 54, which I would presume is 54 because I think these are all still in order. Yeah, the first one is 1 and so on. So that's something we could also do. But anyway, I also have a private magic show coming up for the company in which I work for in about a week and a half. And I was thinking, well, if nothing else, I should totally rehearse for that. I haven't even fully decided on a set list for magic tricks to do there, but I have a few. And they're tricks that I do on stream, but I would not, I wanted to retheme them as tricks that would be more understandable, not just for like nerdy geeky themes, but like people in an office. So, anyway, all right, awesome. Also, I'm still a little sick. I feel a lot better from last week, but I'm still coughing. But I'm otherwise not feeling miserable. But there was like a lot of events today, so I'm starting really late. So if I mute, it's probably because I'm coughing. And hopefully that muted correctly. So, all right. So first things first, I just want to add a trick to the queue. We'll go ahead and do it, and we'll go from there. But I just want everybody to know that I was like feeling bad. I'm like, oh, I did my first affiliate stream, and then I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to stream. And today I started late because I took my baby to the beach for the first time today. We don't live near an ocean, so it was a lake beach, but it's basically it's a big lake. So she did fine. She enjoyed the water. We have a pool too, so she's been acquainted with the water. All right, I should probably prep some of these just in case. And I should probably do the usual introduce myself. I don't know if anybody is lurking or has just come upon my stream or has never been here before, but hi, my name is Nam, and I am a sleight of hand magic enthusiast. I mostly do card tricks. I've co-opted a streamer song list so that if people would like to request any particular tricks, you are free to do so. You can type !TL to view my trick list, and there is one thing on the list that is not a magic trick, but if you want to see that, I'll do it, which is solving a Rubik's Cube. I've done that a couple times on stream, so. Okay, all right. So for some reason, I feel like the vampire card trick has come up as like an opener several times, so we're gonna open with the vampire card trick. All right, here we go. All right, so I have a packet of cards right here. We have the Ace of Hearts, we have the Two of Hearts, we have the Three of Hearts, and we have King of Spades, which is going to represent our vampire. Hold on, why aren't things showing up? I should have my trick list. There we go. Oh, that's right. I turned off some stuff so I can do a YouTube recording. Anyway, um, so this is going to represent our vampire. And our vampire likes to suck the blood of victims, and the ace 2 and 3 will represent in which order the vampire will suck the blood of all of our victims. And so if I go ahead and just give the vampire a little bit of time, vampire, well, passes by the third victim and the second victim, but our first victim has had the blood completely sucked out. And now everything is gone. So now we have the second victim, the third victim, and of course the vampire is going to go after the second victim. We give the vampire a little bit of time, and believe it or not, the vampire has completely sucked the blood of our second victim. All the color has been completely drained out of it. I know, right? And now, finally, we have our third victim. So our vampire will go ahead, and that's all of the amount of time that is required, because the vampire works very quickly. Now, after 3 victims throughout the entire night, this will draw the suspicion of modern day people. It's like, hey, what happened? And so the vampire knows that people are going to be on the lookout. So what ends up happening, though, is that this vampire is very well aware of what's happening, and what's going to happen is that the vampire is going to find a way to get out of Dodge and leave so that they can continue on their vampire blood-sucking spree for the future. Alright, and that was my handling and performance of the vampire card trick. Alright, hey, welcome in. Checking the gaff meter. How's it going? Okay, got here late, but I'm sure that was impressive. Oh, yeah, no worries. This is actually, I started late today, and then I have been sick. I've gotten mostly better, but I still have a cough for today. Because I started so late, and I don't know how long I'm gonna go. Might be a little bit of a short stream today, but I just started. That was literally one trick, so you haven't missed much. So anyway, welcome in, and how are you? Checking the gaff meter. See, at this point, all I've done was this trick, but I was talking a little bit at the beginning about a lot of different ideas that I had for practicing magic with cards that are not traditional cards. So we have like jumbo-sized playing cards. They're called parlor-sized cards. Uno cards, and then I also have tarot deck or oracle cards that I could potentially try and do some magic tricks with. So I have those all around, so if anybody wants to see a trick done with some of those, I'll try and figure out one, or if you request one, and one might be doable. The vampire card trick was a difficult one because you do need specific cards, i.e. the blank ones, to do that trick, so can't really do that with anything. But if anybody would like to request a trick, feel free. You can view my trick list by typing !TL. And if you don't know what to request, but you would like to, feel free to type in !random. I'm going to apologize for my lack of professional. I'm not wearing a t-shirt today because it's hot. And I'm just going to be more comfortable in this. So hopefully nobody is offended. And if you are, I'm sorry. Oh, and as I mentioned, I am still a little bit sick, so Hopefully I don't send any internet germs through the internet pipes. But otherwise, I also wanted to get some practice in, so if nobody ends up requesting anything, I will add random things to the queue. Let's see. Magician Taladar, welcome in. Magician's Gone Wild. MGW. Yeah, I will let you know, Taladar, that I may have connected with magician organizations, but I've never paid any dues. So I don't know if I'm technically considered to be part of any of those. Yeah, just exclamation point random, Taladar. We'll get one in there for you. I should probably just turn on that alias because all it means is random request. And yeah, actually, let me go ahead and just do that now because it'll avoid some confusion in the future. Probably. Let me see here. Random. Oh, did I? Oh, what did I call this command? R trick. Okay, I don't remember. Is it on another page? I don't know. How the heck did I get random in here? It must be an alias for something, and I don't see the obvious command. Anyway, you got one in there. All right, Ooh, okay. I feel okay enough to try this trick with the jumbo deck of cards. All right, if anybody had missed my intro earlier, we have normal sized cards, which are poker sized, and we have the jumbo sized cards, which are parlor sized. And I feel that this is probably doable with the jumbo ones. And so hopefully, I don't mess up. But here's the general size difference. Here's the regular poker size, and here's the jumbo sized. If I overlay them, it is drastically different. So for anybody who's aware of sleight of hand magic things, it could affect how I do stuff. So I'm just prepping for this trick because it requires all 12 of the face cards. So I'm just going to grab all the face cards. And hope I don't mess up. There could just be boss tricks just by sheer fact of me doing this with gigantic cards. So let's hope I do okay. Oh, if anybody needs an explanation what a boss trick is. When you can, tell me how I log in to make a request. Oh, so what you can do is when you click on the stream or song list link and it says you can't make a request unless you're logged in, so because it's no request by anonymous users, there's like a login button in the upper right that says log in, and then if it says just Twitch, just click on the Twitch button and it should automatically log you in if you're in the same, if you're like logged into your Twitch account, that is, it'll connect it. I'm thinking that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyway, if anybody needs an explanation what a boss trick is, it's basically a trick that I don't do to my full satisfaction, and I would like to do it again, basically on a future stream. So, okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, we have them all, and I think it is good. All right, cool. You've requested one. Excellent. All right, so first things first, we have family unit as requested by Taladar. So let's go ahead and perform that. And we are using the parlor-sized Phoenix deck. So this trick requires 12 cards. These 12 cards all happen to be the face cards. Now, if I was performing for this for you live Taladar. You could cut this packet anywhere you would like, multiple times if you would like. Since you are not here, let me know if you would like to cut the pack anywhere. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Like if you say 2, 4, 6, I would cut it here, and so on. So if you want to give me a number, feel free. And let's see, the next request is Hitchcock Aces. This is a new one that I've added to my list. All right, Taladar has selected 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, we will cut here. All right, so the one thing about family unit is that I have to explain to you what a family unit is in the context of this trick. A family unit in the context of this trick is basically consists of 3 pieces: a king, a queen, and a jack, all of the same suit. So I do have these little markers that I would like to start using. I stole the idea because somebody else was using Scrabble pieces. I don't have spare Scrabble pieces, but I found these. So, all right, I can start with any of these piles. These numbers don't mean anything because I just grabbed them from a bucket that basically just has a bunch of random numbers in it. But I can start with the pile 2, pile 5, or pile 7. Which one would you like me to start with, Taladar? Five. Excellent. So this one? Okay. So the thing with this is that we can do something interesting, and all of the family unit members are really great at finding each other. So in this case, it's the King of Clubs. So let's go ahead and place the King of Clubs here, and hopefully these are also the King of Clubs other family members. So if that's the case, let's put them all together and go ahead and place them into my hand. And believe it or not, that was not the clubhouse. That was actually the diamond household. Interesting. Sorry, a little bit of lag in mobile. Yeah, no worries, Taladar. I'm actually in for a chill evening, so even if there's some lag, if I'm very patient today. So okay, which pile would you like to go to next? 2, 5, or 7? Let me know, Taladar. But in the interim, I can explain about Hitchcock Aces. So I recently just put this on my list because I've done it before, but I hadn't done it in a long time. It's more of a complicated trick. All right, Taladar says 2. So let's go ahead and use the 2 pile, and that is a Queen of Heart. So let's go ahead and place the Queen of Heart there, and hopefully these will be the hearts. So we're going to try and put them into the heart household, but we find out that no, that was not the heart household the entire time. It was actually the club household. All right, Taladar, let's stack these piles any way you wish. So if you choose 2, 5, 7, I would grab the 2, place it on the 5, grab that whole thing, place it on the 7. But if you choose 5, 7, 2, I would stack it like this. Boom, boom, boom. If you choose 7, 5, 2, I do it like this. So arrange them however you would like, and I will stack them that way. But yeah, I was afraid to include Hitchcock Aces in my initial streamer song list because it is slightly more complicated trick. So I was like, I don't want to mess up before I'm an affiliate. Now I'm an affiliate, so I don't want to mess up a trick. But let's see, we have 7, 2, and then 5. So I'm gonna grab pile 7, place it on 2, place it on 5. So now we don't really need these at this point anymore. And so we have 6 cards left. We do know that there's a heart household and a spade household. Now we're going to try, and since these houses, these family units have deceived us this entire time, I'm going to try and force, in this case, the spade household to be together. So here we go. Jack of spades, gonna go there. Next, have the king of spades, gonna force there. Next, we're gonna have queen of spades, gonna force there. Everything else should go over here. So if this is indeed the Spade household, it should be correct. I'm going to go ahead and place that into the Spade household, only to discover that they were not the Spade household. They were actually the Heart household the entire time. And we do know this is going to be the Spade household, but they can't be without a house. So the family unit, all the family units have found each other. And that is my handling performance of the family unit with jumbo parlor sized cards. Thank you for the claps, Taladar. Thank you for the request as well. Greatly appreciate it. And let's see. So now let's get set up for Hitchcock Aces. So the one awesome thing about Hitchcock Aces is that that is wicked. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like doing certain sleights in Magic with cards that you're not used to the size of. Like if that looked clean, I felt like it looked fine. But if that looked clean, I'm like, all right, impressed with myself. So, oh hey, Rev Beaumont, thank you for the raid. Rev Raid coming in. Oh, wow. Thank you for the raid, Rev Beaumont. Thank you very much. Let's give Rev Beaumont a shout out. And let's see. Rev Beaumont, first of all, how was your stream? And what did you do? I'm not sure if I've come across Rev Beaumont before. So I'm going to give you a follow. And let's see. And let me thank everybody who's following. So thank you for both rating and hosting, Rev Beaumont. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. And thank you for following Icky Thump 3. And let's see. Rev Beaumont. Let's see, I play music and chat. All right, awesome. Cool. And it looks like you made affiliate. Come watch me be a fool and celebrate. I'm easily amused. Congratulations on making affiliate. That's a big deal. I've actually recently gotten affiliate as well. So this is actually my second affiliate stream. So, and oh hey, welcome in BBB Books, Brews, and Booze. So let's see. I hope your night is going very well. I just made affiliate yesterday. Whoa, congratulations! That is like, yeah, almost on my schedule. I just made affiliate last week, basically. So my first affiliate stream was 1 week ago. So my two new affiliate pals, says BBB. I'm going on tour with my metal band in September to Europe. Excellent. That sounds like a great time. Good luck with the tour and good luck with the travel. I hear that traveling places is sometimes a little rough at the moment. So, but anyway, welcome in Maggie B, Irumikim, Dragon Templar, um, and welcome in BBB, Sunny AF, and yeah. Okay, so let's see. First things first, what's probably proper, I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Nam. I am also known as Crazy Asian on Twitch. I like to perform sleight of hand magic. I'm mostly a card magician. And I've co opted a streamer song list to allow viewers to request magic tricks for me to perform. So if anybody wants to see my trick list, type in !TL. Feel free to request something. Rev Beaumont, if you would like to see a trick performed, you can select one. If you want to request one but you don't know what to request, you can type in !random, and that should add one to the queue. I do have to set this one as performed. Oh, you also do card magic. Excellent. Well, Rev Beaumont, yeah, if there's anything you want to see specifically uh, from my magic list, I was just getting prepped for Hitchcock Aces, which I recently just added. I was telling the story of I didn't want to put it into my streamer song list before I got to affiliate because it is a tougher trick, and if I mess it up, I didn't really want it. There's a lot of slights in it, so. But yeah, at the moment. So let me know, and if otherwise, if you haven't added anything in a minute, we'll just get started with this next trick. But I hope everybody is doing well. My apologies for a couple of things. I'm a little sick, so if I mute, I don't want to cough into your ear holes, number one. Number two, I apologize for my lack of professionalism, i.e., not wearing a t-shirt because it's hot and I just don't feel like wearing one. So, all right, excellent. So, Rev Beaumont, you have requested the 4-card trick. So, let me go ahead and perform that first. And now that I streamed a little bit, I do understand if anybody streams, they're not always immediately ready to hang on for another stream. So, and let's see. Oh, welcome in Mike 2600. So, Mike, I do want to let you know that I did watch one of your Slight Night videos on your Twitch. So that was very impressive. You have a lot of tricks. You were like shotgunning tricks. So thank you, Mike. All right. So let's go ahead and bump up Raider request. And then we will go from there. All right, hold on. I'm set up, but I just want to not mess this up. Boom, 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 and boom. Okay, good. I'm all right. Good to go. Excellent. All right, here we go. This is a trick called the 4-card trick by Alex Elmsley. If anybody who is in the chat that is familiar with Magic, and it seems like I have a couple of people in there who is, Elmsley may sound familiar to you. So, in order to do a trick that's called the 4-card trick, you need 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple enough. There is something special about these 4 cards, though. They are blank. So, but here's the interesting thing about these cards. With blank cards, you can print whatever you want or need to on them, right? So what's a wild card that ends up needing to be special that can be any card? It's a joker, right? So all we have to do is just imagine that one of these is going to materialize into a joker. Super interesting, right? And here's the thing. If we grab this joker, okay, and we turn it over and place it back into the packet somewhere, and we turn over the whole packet, you're going to be able to tell that the joker is still there. But I'm now going to do something super interesting. I'm going to need somebody in chat to hold the joker. I'm going to go ahead and invisibly grab it, and I'm going to hand it to you through the internet pipes. So anybody in chat here, go ahead and grab the joker. And whoever grabs it, just go ahead and say you have it in the chat. I just need to know that the joker is safe at the moment. Got it. Okay, great. So checking the gaff meter has it. Now we can verify. Now we shouldn't be able to see the joker because look, if I thumb through all 4 cards, you're going to see that the joker is gone because we just sent it through the internet pipes. And so now all the cards are indeed face down. But now I'm going to need the Joker back now. So go ahead and send that back through the internet pipes. Let me know when you've given it back to me. I have it. Okay, great, excellent. And now, if I show you, the Joker is back here. Because look. Now here's the thing. You can tell that this is the card because the Joker is on the face, and on these cards, it's blank on the face. But you can tell that this is actually also the card that we sent through the internet pipes, because sometimes there's a little bit of corruption that happens, and so these are all blue on the back, but because this one was held at a different location through the internet pipes for a second, it actually has a red back. And that is my handling and performance of the 4-card trick for Rev Beaumont. Thank you for the request. Thanks for participating, checking the gaff meter. Let's see, and welcome in Wabi Sabiko, also fondly known as Wasabi is a bike. Inside joke for one of the from one of my other streamers that I go visit. All right, full disclosure, I have a baby, and if baby doesn't quiet down in a second, I may have to go up to attend to her. So we're at this point in baby's sleep cycle where we let her go for a few minutes to see if she will go to sleep. But I hope that if I have to step away, people understand. I'm a relatively new father. She is 1 year old. Exclamation point baby for the explanation. But let me see if yeah, Taladar says, dang of internet mixing up RGB values. Yeah. Let's see here. I do have a backup plan for what I can play. Hi everybody, now I'm here and today we're going just to keep people entertained for a few minutes while if I have to go up and check. I don't want to jinx anything. She's starting to quiet down. But let me just check. What do you guys see here? Okay. Can you hear the audio on this?
Hi everybody, now I'm here and today we're going to be talking about my latest magic project. And it's a personal project that I didn't...
You guys hear the audio on that? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, it does look like I'm going to step away for a minute, but let me just play this. I think it's a playlist that will just continue to play.
Realize I was going to do.
I gotta be right back.
Already halfway done with it. And it is performing 100 magic tricks in 100 days. So if you didn't know, I've been practicing sleight of hand magic since 2019.
I think I'm able to be back. What trick? 7 tricks. That's not bad, I guess. Could have been a little bit more, but had I played the playlist. Hello, welcome back. Or at least I'm saying welcome back to myself because you guys have probably been here the entire time. If you're still here, and if you're not, that's okay. I don't blame you. I don't know if you heard during the moment in which I had to step away. My baby was crying. I'll do exclamation point baby for the explanation. But before being a magician or a streamer, I want to be a good father, so stepped away and yeah, that was about a half an hour wake up. Not bad. First visit was just trying comfort, putting her back down. Didn't really work. I think she's also a little sick now, so that might be why she's waking up. But second visit was the usual: change her diaper, give her a little bit more milk from a bottle, which we have tried to wean her off of bottles. So That could also be a factor. I don't know. But anyway, if I was going to say that I'm going to be the same happy go lucky guy after that, I'm admittedly a little bit bummed. After getting a raid from Rev Beaumont. Thank you, Rev, if this ever gets watched. But yeah, so anyway, it's kind of interesting because I don't know. I feel like I can express myself. I don't know if that's like the best way to describe like on stream. Like I would never put this in a YouTube video, really. And I don't know. It would suck, I think, if I definitely depended on Twitch for like income, but at the end of the day, I'm using this as a way to practice more magic, connect with some people, and have some fun. And that's kind of what Twitch is to me. And outside of this, besides raising the baby, I have a 40-hour a week job, and I am still doing YouTube stuff. So between the job, the baby, YouTube stuff, trying to stream, like I find that Sunday nights is like the only time in which I can feel like I have, and I don't want to dedicate to a schedule because, as you guys saw, baby can interrupt me at any time. So um, I don't know. It might be a few years before I can have some sort of schedule. But the good news is I'm getting better at magic as I practice more. So, and part of it was like just practicing magic on my own, which is why I did that crazy, 100 tricks in 100 days video. Was that doing magic actually was pretty cathartic during the pandemic for me. So I'm just gonna do what I uh, feel like I want to do right now and just perform some magic. So even if nobody's watching, that's fine. I'm just gonna do some magic. For anybody who requested something and I could not get to prior to my interruption, I'm just gonna do it. I'll see if they're short enough, I'll clip it. If not, I can highlight it. And if you guys end up wanting to watch those, feel free. If not, that's okay. All right. So next up, we have a trick requested by checking the gaff meter. And this is Hitchcock Aces. So Hitchcock Aces is a trick that I didn't want to put on my initial list of streamer song list tricks because it is more sleight heavy than some other ones. A lot of points in which you can mess up. And I didn't really want to risk it. It's also a longer trick, so, or at least if performed well, it could be a longer trick. But anyway, first things first, we have the four aces, and this is going to be an ace assembly trick. For those of you who don't know, an ace assembly trick is where we have four aces placed separately, and we try and get them to gather together at the end of the trick. So first, let's introduce our aces. We have the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, the ace of spades, and the ace of diamonds. Now, the ace of spades is usually the leader ace, and this is the ace that ends up being the one that we collect everything with. And we have all of the other aces placed out like so. And we're going to go ahead and try and do something magical to get each one of these aces to hop down here. And the way that we're going to do that is first we're going to need to place some cards in various places. So let's go ahead and place just some random card here next to this ace. And we're going to go ahead and place 3 cards on top of this one. And if I just show you that there's nothing strange with this, I'm going to go ahead and pluck that ace out of this packet and place it here, because if I show you, there's actually no aces here now, because that ace of clubs, has hopped down here. And here, let's do that again. So let's go ahead and place some random card down here. Once again, let's place 3 cards on top of that. And nothing strange with these cards, but look, if I go ahead and I just pluck that ace and I place it down here, I show you, that ace is no longer here. Actually, if you'd seen, that was the six of hearts that I had placed initially, and so they've swapped places with the ace of hearts. And now a lot of people sometimes suspect that the ace was never in these piles, but just to kind of prove to you guys that the ace was always there, here's the ace of diamonds, right? And the thing is, I do promise you at the end of this trick that all of the aces will be together. But I'm going to go ahead and clearly turn the ace of diamonds face down right there. And we'll leave these three other aces right here. And I've already messed this up. So we are going to stop right there, call this a boss trick. And now I'm hoping nobody's watching at this point for next time. But yeah, a little discombobulated by the interruption. So, all right. I'm gonna call this. You know what? Nobody's here. Nobody's here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a mulligan on this one. So we're gonna do this over. So and since nobody's watching, hopefully I'm just gonna reset and we're just gonna do it again. And hopefully that's okay. I also didn't like my pattern on that one, so I practiced the mechanics of a trick, but I didn't really think about what I was going to say. I do have a YouTube recording, which, by the way, if anybody wants to end up seeing my YouTube and all that stuff that was linked, um, here's my YouTube. Here's my 100 Tricks in 100 Days project. That's the playlist I should have clicked on, actually, because that's the one that goes into all of the tricks. But okay, all right, here we go from the top. Doing this one over. Okay, up. Checking the gaff meter. You're still here. It was going really well. All good. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad that somebody was watching, and so now you're going to hopefully see it, and I'm gonna be like, oh, like I really want to beat this. So, um, okay, all right, here we go. We're gonna introduce to you all of the aces. So look, we have the ace of clubs, ace of hearts, ace of spades, ace of diamonds. By the end of this trick, I'm going to promise you that all of the aces are going to be gathered together. And I did explain what an ace assembly was during the last performance, so hopefully that all makes sense. So we're still going to keep that out there. But what we're going to need to do now is try and get each one of these aces to jump down to this one. And so how we're going to do that is place some cards. So this is the Queen of Diamonds. So let's go ahead and place the Queen of Diamonds over here. And now we're going to place 3 cards here. And we'll use my hand as a prop this time, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the horns. So look, what I have here, a very powerful symbol. I'm going to use the horns. I'm going to touch this packet and that card at the same time. And actually, if you didn't realize, that is going to cause the ace to hop from there to here. And actually, here's that Queen of Diamonds, right? So, and this is going to be the ace of clubs. I know, interesting, right? Super weird. Okay, next. Queen of Hearts. Interesting that these are the red queens. Let's go ahead and place that down here. And once again, we're going to go ahead and place 3 cards. I'm going to once again invoke the power of the horns. Here we go. Boom. Look at that. So now, would you believe that the ace of hearts that was here has now swapped places with the Queen of Hearts? There. All right. Now, as some people may suspect, and basically, some people think that the aces were never there. But no, no, no. The aces were always there, because look, here's the ace of diamonds. And what we're going to do is we do need to turn the ace of diamonds face down. So we're going to leave that face down there. And we're going to go ahead and leave the other aces down here. Now, what I could offer to do is, if you were here physically, I could place these three random cards and just put them here and have you place your hand on them so that I can't mess with them. And so we're going to go ahead and pretend that my computer mouse is your hand, so that could simulate your hand. And now we're going to go ahead and place some other card, in this case, an 8 of hearts down here. And I did promise you at the beginning of this trick that all the aces would gather here. And I'm not entirely sure why it's called Hitchcock Aces, but I believe it's because of this twist. The aces are not actually here, because these are actually all for kings. But as I said at the beginning of the trick, I did promise you that all the aces would be together. And so now you could conceptually lift up your hand and reveal that all of the aces are here. And that is my handling and performance of Hitchcock Aces. I was satisfied with that one, so I would say that's a good performance. That was much better than the other one that I messed up. Alright, doesn't have to be a boss trick. And I don't think I gave away too many secrets of magic. As I said, this trick is pretty sleight intensive, so even if you saw one thing, it's like, well, wait, how do you reconstruct everything else in the trick? So, checking the gaff meter. Thank you for the emote. Cash is on fire. Yeah, pro tip, don't burn your cash. But yeah, so that's the newest one that I added to the trick list. Whoops. I'm also bad at commands. And let's see, Mike 2600 is no longer here, but because we just went through an ace assembly, this is also an ace assembly. So, welcome back. I just had to fight with a cake, but I've returned. Oh, what kind of cake was it, if I may ask? I'm not a baker. I like to cook, but I'm not, I don't bake things. So I'll go ahead and perform Bluff Ace Assembly because it'll be a nice, I guess, comparison, contrast. So now that you know what the plot of an Ace Assembly is, this is like one of the classic versions of an Ace Assembly is. So let's see. Here we go. So Bluff Ace Assembly. I don't think Mike is probably still here, but if he ends up watching later, that's fine. We have the four aces. We have the Ace of Hearts, Ace of Clubs, Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Spades, which will be our leader ace once again. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and place all the aces out, like so. And what we are going to do is place a few cards onto each one of these piles. So already you can see one big difference is that we're placing the cards ahead of time on all of the piles versus the other one we would do it piecemeal. And once again, I can go ahead and invoke the horns, because look, what we're going to do is touch this pile and that pile, and did you see that electrical impulse that traveled up my index finger and down my pinky into this pile? Because whether you believe it or not, the ace has disappeared. No, it hasn't. It's right there. Man, I am not on a roll today. So what we are going to do is take a mulligan. We're going to do that one again, starting from the top. Oh, okay. I see what I did. I've made poor decisions. All right. Welcome in, Iron Four Feeder. Yeah, it's exclamation point TL. You and I both did mulligans tonight. Mine was the cake. Oh, my sympathies on the cake. Let's see. Well, it's a chocolate chip cake, and it overflowed in the pan, and then took way longer to cook than the directions said. Oh yeah, baking is tough because baking is like chemistry. So yeah, I should like it because I like you know logical things, but I don't really like sweet desserts and things. So it doesn't work well for me. Um, okay. All right. Here we go. Starting over from the top. All right. Ace of spades. Oh, wait, wait. We're going to introduce them this way. Ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and of course, ace of spades. And what we're going to do is place all of the other aces out, like so. And first things first, we are going to have to place a few cards onto each pile. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, all right. If I have to do this one from the top again, I'm gonna like slap myself. Okay, let's once again invoke the horns. Horns activated. All right, let's touch these piles. Boom, boom. The ace has traveled from here to there because if I show you, there's actually no ace here, and uh, we knew that this was here. That's some other card, and the ace of hearts has hopped from there to here. Okay, pulling out the horns again. Boom. Okay, believe it or not, that ace has disappeared because it has traveled down here. See, we knew this was here, we knew that was there, but look, now the ace of clubs has hopped down here. And now finally, boom, pulling out the horns, touching these two piles. And believe it or not, we have the ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and of course the ace of spades. Now you might suspect that sleight of hand has something to do with it, and because my stream is all about sleight of hand card magic, you may be right. But look, I'm going to go ahead and do something that's way more visual than what you just saw, because we're hiding things with other cards and everything. But look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the ace of spades and place it into this pile here. Okay, and if you were here, I could invite you to place your hand on top of this pile, like so. And all I have to do is just tap your hand a few times, and I'm going to pull that ace of spades out from underneath there. One, two, three. Did you see that? Did you see it jump? Because look, if you look in my hand right now, there's now four aces because we have the diamond, the club, the heart, and now the ace of spades. And if we go ahead and check, there's no other aces that are in here. And that is my handling and performance of Bluff Ace Assembly. And that was a from the top. So there we go. I think that's why I prefer baking over cooking because it's precise. I was not precise today, lol. Yeah, I am. I like to cook savory dishes, so I am pretty much stovetop kind of guy. Let's see. Thank you for the eyes and the claps, Iron 4 Feeder. Totally appreciated. Wow, are you guys like pulling out all of the ace assemblies? Because A, this is probably good for like a comparison, but like you are giving me a run for my money for practicing all of these. So because Jazz Aces also an ace assembly. It's a little bit. This one's a little bit different though. We don't hide it with a bunch of other cards. So let's. Okay, this trick is called Jazz Aces, and it is only going to use 8 cards. The 4 aces we all know and love, and just a bunch of other cards. We call these black spot cards because they just have pips, so they're spot cards, and they're they're black. They're not red cards. Um, so here's what we're going to need to do with this. We're going to need to place the ace of spades down and out like so. We can go ahead and place the other aces down like this. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and place a black spot card here on top of the ace of spades. And I'm going to grab this ace and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tuck it into the deck like so. And just like that, I'm going to snap my fingers and that ace is going to disappear from here because if I show you, there's actually no ace here because it has hopped down here. Okay, now once again, let's go ahead and grab one of these black spot cards, place it down here. I'll grab another ace. We're going to place it in here. And once again, snap my fingers. That ace has traveled from here to here. Because if I just have to do a quick double check. All right. I may not have been completely satisfied with this performance, but so look, if I go ahead and I show you, there's no ace there, no ace there, no ace here, and no ace there, because that has hopped down here. Strange, right? Super strange. Okay, one final one. If I go ahead and I show you grabbing this black spot card, showing you that these are all black spot cards, I'm going to grab this final ace and stick it into the pack. Snap my fingers and drop that ace over here. Because if I show you, these are all 4 black spot cards. And this is the final ace. And that is my handling performance of Jazz Aces. It's a little bit scuffed in the middle, but I wouldn't call that a mess up. But not as smooth as I think it could have been, but otherwise perfectly fine. And that was Jazz Aces, requested by Iron for Feeder. Thank you kindly for the request. And thanks for the claps. Books, Brews, and Booze. Hey, Books. Would you like me to perform a trick with tarot cards? Because you're here, and I have the tarot cards. Let me know, Books. Otherwise, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Now would be a good time. All right, Books has said yes. All right, let's see. I've got one that is probably really good for this, so I'll go ahead and do that for you, Books. Request. Okay. First things first, let's show you what the heck this tarot deck looks like, number one, and tell you about it, I guess. And by tell you about it, I mean I can tell you the story of how I got it, but that's basically all I have. There's nothing super exceptional with the lore or anything. So first things first, this is a deck um, that is called the Enchanted Map Oracle deck, and there's 54 cards and a guidebook. I've basically never thumbed through the guidebook. I got this probably from a yard sale many years ago, and I was like, maybe they'd be cool to have one day. It was well before I got into Magic. But I'm into other card games and cards and things like that, so I had it for years, and I'm like, I have no use for these. But today, because we have Books, Brews, and Booze in the chat, so I was on her stream and she was showing off a cryptid Oracle or Tarot deck, and I'm like, oh hey, that's cool. I should probably find mine and perform them. I had some trouble finding them for the past couple weeks, but I found them, and oh, I have that deck too. Awesome. So surprisingly, Books, Brews, and Booze could probably tell you more about this deck than I could, but that's good because books. That means that you probably know all about all of the cards that are in here, and so I'm not sure why that just hopped, but anyway, they're all individually numbered at the top, and they all have a certain image and a word at the bottom. And so, for some reason, I don't know if they skipped some numbers or I'm actually missing them, but I'll have to evaluate later. But just rest assured, I've virtually unmodified. There's really nothing weird about this. So it's 54 cards. It looks like I might be missing 2 cards, but I'll have to double check. But anyway, today's that day, so I'm going to go ahead and give these a shuffle because they are otherwise in a relatively specific order. Let's see. Book says, I can't tell you a gee golly thing. Well, okay, that's fine. Books, you have the opportunity to select a card. Is there a particular card you would like to select, or would you like a random selection, or what? You can do a number from the top. Top card from one of these piles. Card from the top of one of these, the number down. You let me know. Here, we can label them. That one's a 2, that one's a 5, that one's a 7, this one's a 9. Alright, which pile you want and how deep you want me to go for your selection. Yeah, FYI, these cards are gigantic compared to regular cards. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do something about them, but like just by size comparison right here. This is a normal card. This is how gigantic these cards are. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to pull this off. I could very well mess up. 9, okay, here, and then you want the top card, or you just want to go down some number of cards? Say 1 through like 11 or 12. Cut in the middle and pick that card. Okay, great. Okay, cutting in the middle, and then here's the selection. Okay, so that is now the selection. What we're going to need to do, let's clear these off. I'm going to have to both show you the card. It doesn't actually matter that I know what it is, so why don't we go ahead and look at it together. Okay. Here we go. It is 37, and it is cleaning house. So that's basically what it is. The number is 37, and it is the cleaning house. Okay, let's see if I can do this. You're now magically connected to the cleaning house. Books. What we're going to do is do something interesting. I have a long chat delay, FYI. Oh, that's okay. No big deal. I mean, I literally stepped away for more than a half an hour to attend to a baby, so I mean, you know, there's no big deal. We're all friends here. We're all friends here. Anyway, thanks for being here, anybody who's currently still in the chat or has been in here for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to place it into the middle of the deck. Okay, it's definitely going in the middle, like so. We're going to push it in. Yeah, you might think that the edges are golden. They are. So And now what we're going to do is books is going to call the cleaning house up to the top. And just like that, believe it or not, the house has just appeared at the top, I think. Yes, the cleaning house. There it is. 37 cleaning house. Now we can do this trick again. I'm going to go ahead and grab this, place it into the middle once again, like so, cleanly going into the middle. You can totally see the golden edges on the front reflecting it actually going in. And we're going to go ahead and use the power to bring the cleaning house back up to the top. And believe it or not, here is once again 37, the cleaning house. Yes, I know. Okay, this next part might be a little bit awkward because I've never tried to do really any magic trick with cards this gigantic. Like, I can normally hold the cards like this, right? And it's like, okay, so the cleaning house is here. If I turn this over and stick it out, sometimes magicians will actually switch out cards, but if I leave it out jogged, you can kind of see that it still says the cleaning house, right? And so you know that your card has not been switched out yet. And I say yet because you know eventually that magicians will do some sort of switching. But look, if I place the cleaning house into this pile, and I take that pile and place it into this pile, like so, you can still see it sticking out there. I'm going to go ahead and close it. Once I've closed it, sometimes magicians will hide the card on the top or on the bottom. It is not on the bottom. On the bottom we have a come together card. And on the top, it's not on the top, not hiding it on the top. We haven't done any magical thing to move it. And that is called movement. So if I go ahead and we go ahead and snap and have books use her power to bring the cleaning house back up to the top, believe it or not, the cleaning house will show itself back up at the top. Once again, 37 cleaning house. And we could even do this with a smaller packet of cards, right? So if I go ahead and I just show you that the cleaning house, right? If we go ahead and I grab the cleaning house from here and I place it into the middle of this pile, like so, we could try and have it come back up to the top of the deck, right? Nope, that's not it. This is number 52, which happens to be magical map shifter. So no, that didn't work. Hold on. Okay, did it work this time? Nope, that's still the magic. Oh, okay, I know what happened because these tarot decks are really finicky. When you chop them up into different piles, they still remember that they were part of the whole deck. And so this isn't really the top of the deck. This is just the top of what probably is the bottom half of the deck. So it must have jumped up to the top over here. And there is our 37 cleaning house on the top of the actual deck. And that is my handling and performance of the ambitious card routine using a tarot deck called the Enchanted Map. And there are no duplicates, so everything is perfectly unique with a number on the top, a word at the bottom, and a different image. So there's no other cleaning house. And we did choose this at random. So, all right. I'll just fan through the rest of these just in case anybody wants to just glance at the artwork really quick. And that, my friends, is the ambitious card routine. All right, let's see. Does that mean my house is magically clean now? I don't know. I'm going to say probably not, but you can hope and wish, and that is everybody's fairy tale wish, right? My house is automatically clean. Boom, done. Freaking amazing, says Books. Iron Four Feeder, thank you for the eyes. And BBB says, Dag nammit. Yo! Love it. Okay, great. I'm glad you enjoyed. I'll try and see if there's any other tricks I can do with the tarot decks. I think the one problem with these cards, for example, is that they're very tough to identify what it is unless you can actually see the number at the top and the word in the middle. And a lot of the times, either my hand could be obscuring it, or we just kind of show the image very quickly, or just the edge of it, because on playing cards we have the indexes in the corner. So I'm going to have to come up with something super visual. But I can try and... Here's one that might look horrible if I mess this up. So this card, what number is this? 24, stuck in the mud. 24, stuck in the mud. And all I have to do is, let's see how horrible this looks. Ready? Okay, it was not perfect, but I've turned it into your cleaning house 37. There you go. I don't think that was the best. These cards are gigantic, so it's. Let's see. Book says, love it. And I'm for Feeder, thank you for the claps. So, and Iron for Feeder has requested Little Devil. Alright, I'm going to use a regular deck of cards for this. But wow, those cards were big. Those cards were big. Dude, that was epic. Oh man. I'm glad that you enjoyed. I'm glad that I was able to. Well, first of all, I'm glad that I was able to pull out my old tarot cards and do something with them. Number one. Number two, I'm glad somebody actually appreciates the fact that I did magic trick with tarot cards. And then, yeah, I'm glad you were here to enjoy that. Okay, let's see. Next request we have from Iron for Feeder called Little Devil. So there's another trick in my trick list called the Devil's Elevator, and this is a smaller, more portable version of that trick. So let's hope I remember how to do all the tricks, all of this trick. Okay, we are going to be using 4 red spot cards and a jack. The jack is going to represent a lost soul in the levels of hell. And basically, what you are trying to do as the lost soul is trying to get out of hell. So, how we're going to represent this is that when we place the jack into a level of hell that is not the top level, okay, they will appear in the second level of hell. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And so if we grab it and place it in the second level of hell, believe it or not, oh wait, because this is also known as the Devil's Elevator, they get in the elevator, press the up button, and the jack, because they're at the surface, they can leave all of the levels of hell. Interesting, right? Super interesting. So I did that as a demonstration because I'm going to have to start the trick over again because I think it didn't start it off the correct way that I needed to start it off. So let's start it off the proper way. Okay, so look, if I have the jack on the top, and even if I mess it up, we are going to go ahead and grab So first of all, I'm going to show you that the jack is on top by pressing this elevator button. Doesn't matter where the jack is, jack's going to hop up to the top. See? Okay, now if I take the jack out, place the jack into the second level of hell, here, press it in, press the elevator button, ding, jack comes up the top. Okay, great. All right, next, if we go ahead and I grab the jack and I place it into the third level of hell, like this, it will totally be able to come up to the top, the surface, pressing the elevator button. Ding! If you don't say ding, it doesn't work. There's the jack, once again, up at the top. We can place the jack here in the fourth level of hell, all right? And snap, believe it or not, jack is going to hop up to the top. Now, some people think that, the jack hides out in here and nothing gets moved around. But look, these are the same red spot cards we've been using the whole time. And so I'm going to go ahead and place the jack here in the bottom, the fifth level of hell. I'm going to close that up, press the elevator button, and ding! And believe it or not, the jack is actually going to hop up to the top. And that is my handling and performance of a trick called Little Devil after that little snafu at the beginning. So, there we go. Alright, I need to take a swig of water. Hang on. The Oracle decks have a lot more deviation. Sometimes they have hexagon-shaped ones, smaller, larger. It can be wild. Oh yeah, I can imagine that for sure. For sure. There's a card game that I used to play, and they have these clear coaster-like cards that are shaped like a pentagon. And the game was called Hecatomb, and so its lore was like you're doing like demon devilish things. So like there's like pentagrams and things like that. So the pentagon shape works out for it. Iron for Feeder, thank you for the claps. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you for the request. Let's see. If you guys weren't here at the very beginning, I was showing off a bunch of things that I could do tricks with, i.e. the tarot deck, which we've done, the jumbo cards, which I've already done, and the jumbo cards were actually easier than the tarot deck because the jumbo card. So here's a regular sized card. Actually, it might be easier if I just swap modes here. So here's a regular sized poker sized card. Here's the jumbo sized card, which is parlor sized, and so you can kind of see there's already a difference in size. And then, as we discussed, the tarot cards are gigantic by comparison. So this is definitely the most difficult so far. And then the other kinds of cards that I had for tonight, if we wanted to do something, I also have Uno cards, which are the same height as playing cards, but they're slightly less wide. So you can kind of see that there is a definite narrowness on the Uno card compared to the regular. So yeah, but if I get if nobody requests anything, I'll put something random into the queue, and if I can do it with Uno cards, I'll do it with Uno cards. Okay, all right. We have a request from Checking the Gaff Meter, and it is the Invisible Deck, which I can't do with Uno cards. Not doable. But we can go ahead and do that. Checking the Gaff Meter. This will require a card selection. And so if you know what card you want to select, keep it in your mind until I show my screen. And we have this deck of cards right here. So the Invisible Deck is a trick that I've told, that I mentioned on other streams, that I will only do once per stream. So what I'm going to do is checking the gaff meter. Are you there? I'm going to need you to do something, and I'm going to need you to select a card. But don't tell me what it is. I'm going to hand you this deck through the internet pipes. Okay, so go ahead and grab it. It will be invisible when it comes to you. And once you have the invisible deck, go ahead and open it up, spread out all of the cards. So you're looking at all the faces. Take one card, and don't tell me what it is quite yet. Take it out and turn it and face it in the opposite direction. And then put all the cards back in the box. And then once you've done that, close up the box. And then once again, hand the invisible deck back to me through the internet pipes. And it should solidify once it comes over here. So anyway, I'm ready to catch the deck whenever you're ready to send it back. Let me know when you're sending it after you've turned your card in. Okay, all right. Here, boom. I think I've got it. I've got it. Okay, great. So what I've just done was hand you this deck through the internet pipes invisibly. You pulled out a card and turned it around, placed it back into the deck. And now the deck is right here. So at this point, I'm not going to remove this box from the view of the camera. So checking the gaff meter, please tell me which card it was that you flipped over. I think you did it right. I can feel that the magic is emanating from the deck at this point. Yeah, it's fine to go ahead and tell me in the chat now. It's the six of diamonds. Interesting. That's very funny because look, if I open up this deck right now, okay, and I go ahead and I just like thumb through, all right, and there happens to just be one card that is facing in the opposite direction. One card and one card only. It happens to be that one. You said it was the six of diamonds, right? Wouldn't it be weird if that was the only card that was turned in the opposite direction? I don't want you to lose any sleep over this. I explained to you how it worked. I sent you the deck through the internet pipes, an invisible deck. You flipped one over, you sent it back, and here we now have, believe it or not, oh, you did see it, but the six of diamonds. And there we go. That is my handling and performance of the invisible deck. Checking the gaff meter, thank you for the request. Checking the gaff meter says, what the heck? I know, right? So weird. So weird. Yeah, it'll be tough to see this exact trick performed that way live because you won't have internet pipes available to you. So if you see the invisible deck performed live, you'll probably see it performed differently, for the record. Checking the gaff meter. What the heck? That is that is a great reaction. So thank you for. I assume that that is a lot of surprise. Checking the gaff meter. You're not a magician in any way, right? So, Mr. Mike, 333 disco. Thank you for the disco emotes. Hutch says, "Yeah, what the heck?" Welcome in, Hutch. How's it going? Oh, first of all, I've been so rude. I have not shouted many people out. I did shout some people out after the raid, but then my baby cried and I had to step away from stream for a little bit. How'd you know? No, I'm not. Okay, well, that's okay. That's great because now you can be mystified. I will let you know you should not lose any sleep over it. I didn't sign any deals with the devil or anything. I sleight of hand magic. So, okay. So first things first, we have some people in our chat. I want to shout out Books, Brews, and Booze. Reads books, talks about beer and booze. Fun time. Also likes to talk about lore and literature, and she's currently baking. Let's see. I also want to shout out Iron 4 Feeder. which, if anybody doesn't know, is a Vietnamese piano player. So, high and four feeder. Yep. Also, currently lives in Vietnam, so not like a Vietnamese piano player in the United States. Actually lives in Vietnam. So, uh, let's see. We have Hutch MD also is a piano player. I bother Hutch regularly with live learns and sight reads. So Hutch MD. Let's see. Anybody else a streamer? Checking the gaff meter. Are you a streamer? Hutch just hit 500 followers yesterday. Yo, Hutch, congratulations. That is big news. I'm going to clap. That clap is for Hutch reaching 500 followers, so congrats. Thanks. All right. Okay, I'm going to add a trick to the queue, and then if we can do it with Uno cards, we're doing it with Uno cards. So, woo! Following new musical friends. Oh, awesome. Ace on top. Okay, all right. This one we can totally do. It won't be ace on top. It'll be like one on top or something. But we're gonna do it. I was pulling out all the blue ones, and then I realized that's going to be horrible against my blue magic mat. So we're going to change our strategy and maybe choose red Uno cards instead. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Let's not do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Am I missing a red 4? Nope. Okay, perfect. Okay. First of all, I just want to show. Okay, this is a blue mat. It's kind of like a weird off blue, but here's what the blue Uno cards look like. I think the contrast is way better with the red ones, right? Okay, for sure. All right, let's see if I can do a trick with Uno cards. Normally, this trick is done with an ace, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of a suit, but because there's no ace in Uno land, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now, the name of the game is not so much that it is ace on top, but it's going to be 1 on top. And this is not so much a trick, it's a game, so feel free to play along. If you want to type in chat, feel free. You don't have to, though. Okay, so first things first, it's going to use a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And the name of the game is that the 1 is going to be on top. So now here, oh, this is the magical move right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this face down. Did you see the magical move? Because if I ask you what card is on top, what card would you say? I think a lot of people would say the 5. Or if they were paying attention, they might say, in this case, 1, not ace. And if you said 1, you're correct, because look, here's the 1. So if I take the 1 aside, now the rest of the pack is basically going to be ascending in this, 1 followed by the 2. Okay, so now if I take out the 2, and after the 2, it's going to be followed by the 3, and after the 3, it's going to be followed by the 4 and the 5. right? So here's a question. What card is this? Let's see. Iron for Feeder is watching with eyes, checking the gaff meter, says, I would say 5. I would be wrong. Yep. Luckily, I'm not asking anybody to bet any money. FYI, if you ever find a magician or a hustler, you don't play any games with them that require real money. So, a lot of people would probably say this is the 5. Some people would be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We didn't see the last 2 cards. It could also be the 4. But if you were paying attention, is this card not on top? So wouldn't this be the 1? And what follows the 1? It's the 2. What follows the 2? The 3. What follows the 3? The 4. And what follows the 4? Of course, the 5. Now, that was just a warm up. So we have 5 cards here. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in red. What card is this? This is not so much a trick. This is an observation test. I didn't even do anything magical between flipping the cards from here to here. If you said the 1, you're correct because that's what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the 1 here into the packet. It's not going on the top. It's going somewhere in the middle. Now, important question. What card's on top? If you said the 1, you would be correct. Isn't that weird? So look, if I grab the 1 and I place it somewhere obviously not on the top, like here directly in the middle, right? It's going into the exact middle of the packet. Believe it or not, if I ask you what card is on top, what would you say? If you said the 1, you'd be correct because here's the 1. Now if I remove the 1, I'm going to take the 1 out of play now. What card follows the 1? If you say the 1, that's incorrect because there is only one of each one of these. But if you said the 2, that would be right because you can count in ascending numbers. Now look, I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2 and I'm going to place it furthest away from where it's supposed to be, right? So if I place it here on the bottom, like the bottom, right, and close it up, what would you say is on the top? You wouldn't guess the 2, right? But if you guess the 2, because the 2 follows the 1, because look, there's the 2. It's super weird, right? Now look, if I just go ahead and I shuffle these cards here, and what if I told you that I could perform this trick with the cards face up? So let's pretend they're in this orientation, right? If I did this trick with the cards face up, the 1 has to hop all the way up to the top in order for it to work. The 3's got to slide down to the middle. The 5 has to slide all the way down to the bottom. The 2 has to jump to where the 5 used to be, and the 4's got to slide over 1. And that's what would have to happen in order to do this trick face up. I know, so tough, right? But all I have to do is actually just take one card. If I go ahead and I find the ace, not the ace, the 1, this is the problem with doing tricks that use regular cards and Uno cards. If I just take the 1 and I place it on the top, that is all that is necessary for this stack to just self-correct itself based on the properties that we know to exist with the ace on top trick, but with the 1 on top with Uno cards. Because look, we can already tell that the 1 is on the top because I placed it there. That's not a secret. But look, if I show you what follows the 1, it's the 2. If I show you what follows the 2, it's the 3. And if I show you what follows the 3, it's the 4. And if I show you what is beneath the 4, it's the 5. And that, my friends, is ace on top with Uno cards, making it 1 on top, I guess. Hopefully you enjoyed. Gonna take a swig of water here. I do owe someone a trick. They're not in chat, but if I do it, I can clip it and maybe send it to them. So, okay. This might seem less impressive with bigger cards, so actually this might be a good candidate with for Uno cards as well. So we can do we can do the coin matrix with Uno cards, right? I think that's a doable thing. Okay, here we go. First things first, we have 4 coins. They are inspectable. If people were here, you can check them out. Since you're not, these are legitimately 4 coins. So, and now we need 4 cards. We're going to be using these Uno cards because they're the only thing that might make this slightly more interesting. Because larger cards, you can probably hide the coins better. But so what we're going to do is cover each one of the coins with an Uno card. Okay. And then what we're going to do is try and teleport some of these coins around. If you've ever seen a coin matrix, there are longer, better versions. I just do the simple basic version. And so here we go. Could you believe that I'm going to teleport this coin from here up there? Because if you don't, watch. Ready? Look. It happens very quick. This one's going to go up there. Ready? Super quick. And now this last one, super quick. And that is my handling and performance of the coin matrix using Uno cards as cover instead of regular playing cards. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right. Let's see. Bling Bling Boy 123. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Let's see. Bling Bling Boy, if I may ask, how did you find my channel? What brought you here today? Just scrolling through, just chatting. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, so I have to use the category just chatting because there's not a magic for magic performance um, category. And there's a couple that are like magician and magic tricks, but those are actually video games. And I'm like, I don't want to indicate that I'm playing these video games that I'm not playing, obviously. So yeah, I am a sleight of hand card magician. So that's, I mean, I'm just a sleight of hand magic enthusiast. And I think the only thing that I can claim that I can actually say that is innovative and different, streaming magic on Twitch. There are a few other magicians on Twitch, but I've co-opted a streamer song list, and so viewers can request tricks using streamer song list. You'll have to excuse me, I am muting because I am coughing, getting over being sick from last week. But if you would like to see what tricks I have, if you're familiar with trick names and things like that, you can request something. If you want to request something and you don't know what to request, you can type in exclamation point random, and a random one will get put into the queue here. So Um, let's see. Uh, Suppy Bean One, thank you for the follow, and of course Bling Bling Boy 123, thank you for the follow. So let's see. Apex Aces, excellent. So a couple of things. First things first. Sometimes when I perform a trick on stream and I don't perform it to my satisfaction, um, we'll make it a boss trick. And Bling Bling Boy, what you have found is a boss trick. So the last time I performed this, I was not happy with how I performed it. It doesn't necessarily mean I messed it up. It just means that I was not happy with it 100%, and so it becomes a boss trick so that I practice it so that it looks better next time and so on. Sometimes I do mess up tricks, and that's the risk of doing a live stream. If I really mess it up, then I might have just revealed a magic trick, the secrets of magic. So you can do a different one if you want. No, no, no. We're doing this. So we are encountering the boss. So you have found a boss trick. Let's see if we can beat this together. And I just gave you the explanation of what a boss trick is. So here we go. Bling Bling Boy 123, thank you for the request. Now we can have 3 cards selected. We can do random cards, or if you want to just call them out, Bling Bling Boy, feel free. And if you don't care, then we'll have some random cards. So we just need 3 cards selected. Or if anybody else in the chat wants to select one as well, just name one. All right, we got 7 of hearts as one. Ace of spades. Oh, you can't do aces because the aces are going to be helping us find these 3 selections. So the aces are separate. Because the trick is called Apex Aces. So the aces will be finding our three selections. Okay, let's do King of Diamonds. Great. We have King of Diamonds. And King of Spades from Suppy Bean. All right. King of Spades. Right there. So those are our 3 selections. Okay. And if we forget what they are, they're all in chat, so we got it. Now, what we are going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick each one of these into the middle of the deck. All right. And in doing so, we're going to try and lose all of them. That's 1. Here's 2. Okay. And then here is 3. I'm pretty sure they went to 3 different parts of the deck. Okay. So they're now lost. Now, sometimes magicians might do like crazy cuts and shuffles and things like that, but we're just going to leave them there. And so now we're going to call upon our heroes. Our heroes, the Apex Aces. These aces are really great at finding criminals. So let's pretend these 3 selections are criminals. So we're going to have them hunt for each one of the selections. How they do that, I don't know. It's a mystery, but I can show you what we see. So look, we have the Ace of Diamonds. And if we go ahead and snap, that Ace of Diamonds is going to run into the deck to try and start finding one of the selections. Because if I spread, what we have here is just 3 of the aces. Now look, if I go ahead and we have the second ace, the Ace of Clubs, also run. That's now running deep into the deck to try and find the other one. And now we have the Ace of Hearts. And believe it or not, now we have just the Ace of Spades on the top. But look, all I have to do is just allow the Ace of Spades, because the Ace of Spades is the last ace that is going to outnumber the 3 outlaws, right? So if I go ahead and I just give this a little bit of a shake, the aces are not on the top. The aces are not on the bottom. So where have they gone? They're all hunting for each one of our outlaws in the middle. Because now if I spread, something interesting is going to happen. If we take a look, we've got the aces are all face up, but they're not right next to each other. There happens to be 3 cards caught in between them. 3 cards. Any guesses as to what they are? If you guessed the King of Spades, the King of Diamonds, and the 7 of Hearts, our heroes, the Apex Aces, have found all of our criminals. And that is my handling and performance of Apex Aces. And I will add that I was happy with that performance. So we could say we beat that boss together, everybody. Excellent. Thank you kindly for being here, and thank you kindly for requesting that bling bling boy. 1, 2, 3. We'll beat that. Great boss battle. Yes, that's right. Yeah, the last time I did that, I basically did most of the trick okay, and there was just one little tiny thing that I think was not clean, and that was the only thing that bothered me. And I'm like, okay, let me do it this time. I thought it was clean this time, and I'm like, all right, happy with that. So great, great. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Books, nice heart. Thank you kindly, Books, and great boss battle from Bling Bling Boy. Awesome. All right, let's see. Next, we have the Devil's Elevator. Ah, excellent. Earlier, we did the other portable version of this, but we did not actually do the Devil's Elevator. So let me perform that, because this is a fun one. This one hits pretty strong with audiences, and I didn't. When I learned it, I loved the trick, but I actually didn't think it would be that effective. But lo and behold, it turns out to be one of the audience favorites. So I'm just setting up because we're only going to use 8 cards. So I'm just finding 8 cards to use at the moment. So hang tight. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Okay, all right. Oh. Suppy Bean 1, I'm doing great. That's great to hear. Awesome. Checking the gaff meter. Good, good. Very entertained. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying. Let's see. Books, Brews, and Booze says, all right, now I'm in chat. It's bedtime here. Have a great rest of the stream. Well, thank you for joining in, Books. You have a glorious evening, and good to see you in here. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll try and come up with another tarot deck card trick for you next time. So sleep well. Okay, so this trick is called the Devil's Elevator. First things first, we have the 2, 3, 4, and 5 of clubs. You'll see why I chose these numbers in a second because it'll make it easier to remember. And the 6s and 9s that are red. Now, the reason why I choose the 6s and 9s, not because of the obvious internet meme, I mean, that is also a good reason, but because this is called the Devil's Elevator. At certain angles, this might look like 666, you know, if I interweave them correctly, right? So that's why I use this. But anyway, so the Devil's Elevator. Thanks for the well wishes, Books. So thank you kindly. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave the red cards over here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to place the black cards and place them in a way that you remember. So here's the 5. The 5 is going to go here. Okay, and then the 4 is going to go here. And then the 3, that will go here. And then the 2 is going to go right on top of this pile. Now, the reason why this is called the Devil's Elevator is that there's a lot of different levels of hell. You may have heard of this in a lot of different types of literature, but um, each one of these cards is going to represent the depth of the level of hell. So here's the first level of hell, the second level, the third level, the fourth, and the fifth. Now, if we go ahead and grab the 2 and I place it in the second level of hell, so 2, second level, so this is why I chose these. Um, there is a way to get from here back up to the surface, and if you're at the surface, you could theoretically get out of hell, right? So look, if I go ahead and I press that in, and let's pretend that the 2 finds the elevator, and you can kind of see that these are like the elevator buttons. If they press the up button, and you do have to say ding, because if you don't say ding, the magic won't work and the elevator will break, right? So, but believe it or not, the 2 has now traveled from the second level of hell back up to the surface, because if I show you the top card here, there's the 2. Now look, if I go ahead and I grab the 3 and I place the 3 in the third level of hell, like so. Okay, 1, 2, third level of hell, 4, 5. Got it. So let's go ahead and press that in, close it up, and the 3 finds the elevator, Devil's Elevator. And they now know how to operate it, so they press the up button, ding, and believe it or not, 3 is going to be able to escape because now it's at the top. Now, some people suspect that because hell is crazy and devilish, that maybe there are these lost souls that are in there the whole time. But no, no, these are the same red spot cards that we've been using for this trick. But now, look, if I grab the 4 and I place it in the fourth level of hell, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press that in, close that up. 4 finds the elevator. Saw this trick. They know how to operate it. They press the up elevator button. Ding! Believe it or not, the 4 is going to be able to escape because they are now at the surface. And also some people believe that there might be more than 4 cards in my hand, but no, there's the same 4 cards that have been here the whole time. And now if we place the 5 clearly on the bottom, like so. So in the fifth level of hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth level of hell. Close that up. The 5 finds the elevator button, presses the elevator button, ding! And the 5 arrives at the surface and is able to get out. Of course, these are our red 6s and 9s that we've been using the whole time. And that, my good friends, is how you get out of hell if you find the Devil's Elevator. Thank you for the claps, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly. Let's give our friend Gibson Lens a shout out, because I don't believe I've shouted him out today. Gibson Lens, there we go. Gibson Lens plays piano. He plays VGM, esoteric, pop, rock kind of music. Also has a lot of his own composed originals, so composer, songwriter. I enjoy bothering him and requesting things in his stream. So if you just like chill piano, good place to be. Gibson Lens, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see, thanks for the claps, Iron 4 Feeder as well. And so that was the Devil's I don't talk English good. My apologies. Devil's Elevator, as requested by Suppy Bean. Alright, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go, but if anybody wants to see some tricks, because I was initially just going to go for a couple of hours, but then my baby cried, so I had to step away from stream. It was after a raid, I felt bad, so people left, I presume, and then some people stayed on. So I appreciate anybody who watched through all of that, but yeah. So yeah, last call if anybody wants to request anything or see anything, or otherwise I'll pick a couple of tricks probably to just end out the night. I do have a job that I work, and it's a Monday tomorrow, so I have to work tomorrow. But I can stay on for a little bit. because I know some people just got in as well. So feel free. And if you don't know what to request, but you want to request something, exclamation point random, it should put a random one into the queue. Let's see, what did people miss today? I did a trick with Uno cards. I did a trick with tarot cards. I did a trick with jumbo cards. Yeah, it's been an interesting stream, to say the least. All right, let's see here. And I did have to do some redos tonight, or not redos, mulligans. I took some mulligans tonight. I did mess up some tricks on stream. So if anyone wants to see those, you could totally watch the VOD later. Let's see, what haven't I performed in a bit? Oh yeah, let's do this one for sure. That's trick request. I think I spelled it right. Mike Elevator. Alright, I don't know how to pronounce that, but we'll do that one, and then alright, let's end strong. I do like ending with this one, and then I did mess it up a couple times before, but last time I did do it decently well. So let me just make sure I have the cards to perform this one. Yes. Okay, we do have this. We can perform it. We have the technology. All right. So once again, last call. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. Otherwise, we will do Mike Elevator and Picasso Aces. I think the more I perform Picasso Aces, it is slowly becoming more and more one of my favorite tricks to perform. All right. I'm just grabbing a few cards to set up for Mike Elevator. Mike Elevator. Yeah, yeah. I never know how many syllables are in the middle of that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. All right. And we just did an elevator trick, the Devil's Elevator. So you may see some similarities, but hopefully this one's different enough. All right. Here we go. This trick is called Michael Elevator. Oh, hold on. Let's move these so that they're not on camera. There we go. Okay. We have 4 kings and then 3 black spot cards. Now, the thing with these kings is that let's pretend that we are in a zombie apocalypse. And the zombie apocalypse has forced these kings to try and hide out into various different apartment buildings. So look, what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and place all of the kings out like so. And each one of these is going to represent an apartment building. And these black spot cards is going to represent our zombies in the zombie apocalypse. So let's pretend these zombies go and descend on this first apartment building, like so. And you would not expect that the king would be able to escape, but the king, being a very resourceful human being, does not get buried by the zombies, but actually comes right up to the top and rises to the challenge to be able to escape. Interesting, right? Now, what we have here is, once again, let's go ahead and place all of our zombies on top of the second king in the second apartment building. And believe it or not, that snapping is not snapping. That's a shotgun going off and killing any zombies nearby because, believe it or not, our second king has risen to the occasion as well and is now able to escape the zombies being able to, um, descend upon the building. Now, this last one, not this last one, this third one, these zombies, these are zombies that are not like mindless zombies. They're starting to think, and they're like, wait, we've been descending on the kings. Maybe that's not going to work. Maybe they should surround the survivor, and that's what's going to allow it to. Um, Now, and also, let me go ahead and I'm going to show you the top card. It's also not a king currently. But if we go ahead and snap, remember that's not magic snap. That's actually weapons firing at zombies. The king has hopped up to the top and is able to escape. And now finally, the zombies were like, "Wow, that didn't work very well." So they just go ahead and dive on top of this one on the fourth apartment building. Now, that fourth apartment building, they didn't realize that the survivor that was there was a pilot. And so that pilot is this king. And this king realized that, well, being the pilot with the plane, they can actually fly over all of the other survivors, like so, and actually pick up all of the survivors. Because now all of the kings are here, leaving all of these zombies in the dust. And that is Michael Elevator, themed as zombies attacking apartment buildings. Thank you for the claps, Gibson Lens. Alright, let's see. Didn't look like anybody had requested anything, so we will just go ahead and proceed to performing this last one. And then we'll call that a stream. And then I'll find a raid target. I hope nobody minds. I have a lot of friends in the Twitch music community, so I'll probably end up raiding to one of those. So, anyway. Let me make sure I have these things in the right order, because that's basically what caused me to mess this up last time. Alright, here we go. Picasso Aces. You know what? I have a spreadsheet where I can just check really quick. Really don't want to mess this up again, so boom, 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 boom. Okay, yep, that is the setup. Okay. Alright, here we go. So, Picasso Aces, finale for tonight. Hopefully that is okay. First of all, I do want to thank anybody who is currently still watching, anybody who's been lurking, anybody who sat through my interruption. My apologies, but I do want to be a good father, and being a good father takes precedence over me being a magician or a streamer. So that's the first thing. Second thing, thank you for anybody who requested any tricks. If I don't perform tricks for other people, I'm just doing a card performance over here. The magic happens in the viewer's mind. And also, this is my second affiliate stream. Didn't go as well as I wanted to, and actually when I came back from the interruption, I was a little bit bummed, but actually one of the things that got me through pandemic was just performing tricks, and so just finishing out stream. I feel a lot better right now, and baby's currently asleep. I don't want to jinx that, but I've already let that out into the world, so there we go. Iron 4 Feeder, thank you for the emotes. And then, other than that, if you are always itching for more magic, you can always watch my VODs. This is my ninth stream now, so I believe most of the other ones are still up at the moment. Um, Tiger Lily 1551. Thank you kindly for the claps. And actually, I don't know if I missed your sub, if that happened earlier or off stream or in the middle of something. But thank you for subscribing. You are one of the first subscribers on my channel. So there's, I forget how many subscribers. Is it if it's 10 or like 15 people? But yeah, thanks for being here and subscribing. And yeah, anyway, if you are itching for more magic, you can always watch any of my Twitch VODs, until those fall off being VODs. And then there is my YouTube channel and my 100 Tricks in 100 Days project that I finished up earlier this year, also on YouTube. All right, cool. With that, let's do our finale Picasso Aces. And I'm sorry if anybody has seen Picasso Aces before, but you're gonna see it again. So there we go. All right, first things first. We have a deck, and these are aces. But I'm gonna let you know that these aces don't come from this deck, because if I show you this deck, it's a blue-backed deck. These aces are actually a red-backed aces. So we have the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, and of course the ace of spades. Now, the thing with these aces is that they're red backs. So they're going to be very easy to pick out with the rest of the deck. But this is an ace assembly, and so with ace assemblies, we're going to try and have the aces group together into a pile at the end, but hopefully we do it in a magical way. So if I go ahead and I just place these aces down like so, the ace of spades will be up in this section here by itself, because we're going to try and get these cards up there. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to be placing 3 cards onto each one of these piles. So we'll go ahead and place 3 cards there, here, here, and then here, like so. Okay, let's close this up on all of the piles. And now what we're going to do, hopefully completely mind-blowing, I hope. I suppose I shouldn't set up that expectation, but that's what I thought when I first saw this trick. I was like, what? And I knew what was going on. Okay, so we have our red ace here. But if we go ahead and I just close up the packet, I'm going to go ahead and grab the ace from here and place it into this pile. And no need to snap, because in the action of me miming pulling it out and dropping it over there, believe it or not, that ace is gone. Because if I thumb through these 4 cards here, they're all blue backed. And if I show you, there's no ace here. And if I go ahead and I show you, originally there was just the one red ace of spades. But now, and 3 blue backed cards, but look, there's actually going to be 2 red backed cards and 2 blue backed cards. Interesting, right? So now look, we have another ace. It's right there. And what I'm going to do is pull it out and drop it in here. And if I show you once again, there's no red backed cards there. And we can even do that a second time, because now they're all blue backed. And actually, if I just show you, right, so it's all blue backed. And so now we should have 1 blue backed card and 3 red backed aces, because look, super strange, right? Isn't that so weird? And now we have just 1 more. And actually, some people think that something weird's going on. Maybe some of the aces weren't there, but I assure you that all the red back cards are aces. Like, I can just place this here in this spread right here, right? You can see the aces there. If I show you this side, you can see the aces there, right? Okay, but here's where the magic happens. I'm going to go ahead and pull the essence of that ace out, and I'm going to drop it over there. And believe it or not, now the ace is gone, because now there's 4 blue backed cards. And if I show you the fronts, there's actually no ace here. Because now if I thumb through all four of these, there's actually all four red-backed aces. And that is my handling and performance of a trick called Picasso Aces. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, not just that trick, but any of the performances that you were able to see today. And thank you very much. Let's see. Thank you very much for the claps. Checking the gaff meter, Tiger Lily, Gibson Lens, Alchemmutation Studios. Are you a voodoo child? No. I'm a voodoo adult. All right. Let's see. Checking the gaff meter. I did. Awesome. Thanks for enjoying and being here. Alchemmutation Studios. Hello. You have just joined at the end, and I'm gonna raid out. So Iron for Feeder. Thank you for the claps. But Alchemmutation Studios, you know that I am in Infozar's Discord, so if you want to see any magic, you can just tell me anytime and we'll make something happen. But anyway, that being said, while we were mentioning this, if anybody wants more magicians to follow, there are not that many of us, so let me just do some quick shout outs here. I just mentioned Infozar, whom is another magician on the US East Coast named Jack. So you can go ahead and jump over there. Oh, welcome in, Sencha Katner. Great seeing you. My apologies if you just joined in. I'm basically doing a last round of shoutouts, and we're going to be raiding out. But thank you for being here. And honestly, I was a little bummed out tonight because I was not able to be here the entire stream. I actually had to step out during an interruption during stream because I had to attend to my crying 1-year-old baby. So, oh, you've been lurking. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed what you were able to see. We have another magician, Singaporean magician, streams. Jack Infozar streams three times a week, I think. And then Halithorn is a Singaporean magician, also streams 2 to 3 times a week. Hello, Thorn. And then let's see. I have another magician Twitch friend. He is a variety streamer, so you might see him do games or do some music. But he also streams magic, and that is T Cards. He has also performed at the Magic Castle. So if anybody is familiar with the Magic Castle, that is also something that has occurred as well. And yeah. All right. So that is that. I guess while we are here, let's also shout out Alchemmutation Studios. He is actually a mod for a couple of the other magician streams that I've talked about. Also plays music, metal. He also does some random games sometimes, and sometimes just chatting. He shows silly, funny videos on stream. And then also let's shout out Sencha Katner as well. Grows Plants Experimental Botany also has streamed him getting his latest tattoo. So that was pretty cool. And then I believe, hold on. So I know that I've seen you around, Tiger Lily, and I know you stream. I'm not entirely sure what you stream. I just gave you a follow, but I'm also going to shout out Tiger Lily as well. Oh, nope, I lied. Okay, I've seen you around, and I haven't seen you streaming anything, because no game. Alright. That's okay. You don't stream yet. Maybe one day. Alright. Okay, cool. That is all the shout outs, I believe. If I miss anybody, feel free to just poke and guys support our streamer friends here. Alright, let's go find someone to raid. The one thing that I have just determined is the lesson I've learned is never find someone to raid early because then, they might leave. All right, I've never raided this person, and I know that they are part of the other magic communities, and it works out well because I did a trick with tarot cards earlier, and she is currently doing tarot. So let's go ahead and raid the Vapor Witch. Oh, the. Okay, there we go. That's right. The Vapor Witch. Okay, cool. Raid has been created. Oh, before I actually raid out, let me show you my raid call. There's a raid call. If you would like to make some noise, feel free to copy that raid call. I won't hit the raid button yet because I actually did the raid call stuff really late last time, and then nobody was able to copy the raid call. So I was like, oh, whoops. So yeah, let's make some noise and support the Vapor Witch. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in, and you have a glorious evening. Thanks very much.